Let's do this thing right now. Okay, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Backlash review, San Juan, Puerto Rico. How long has it been since they've been in Puerto Rico? Over about 15, 16 years since New Year's Revolution. So a very big event out of the country, since WWE likes doing that nowadays. It's not a stadium show, but it was still one hell of a crowd, though. A hot crowd, especially for 2 days within SmackDown and Backlash. But Puerto Rico tonight, Saturday, May the 6th. It's too many holidays back to back. Those amount of days, the Bullet Club Day, the May the 4th, the Cinco de Mayo, and you gotta have a little bit of revenge of the 6th. All right, so you gotta add all 4 of those days as some giant holiday and whatnot. But yes, in this review, let my two hosts introduce themselves. So go right ahead.
I don't think any of those are actually holidays, bro.
Well, I told you. You gotta go along with it. You still ain't put your hand up in there. I've been telling you put your hand up in there for 3 days now.
Hey, I like that energy though, bro.
So yeah, introduce yourself.
All right, well, it's Black Shaggy in the building. We here to talk about some Backlash. Let's get it.
All right, yep. Straight face 40. Kyle, you already know.
All right then. Backlash though. What do we kick it off with tonight? Michael Cole, Corey Graves on commentary. We get right off the bat with the Raw Women's title on the line. Bianca Belair.
Hold up. We not gonna talk about that pre-show bit.
I didn't watch the pre-show.
What?
Y'all ain't see the bit with Wade Barrett on the beach?
Oh, the clip where the girl gave him the drink. I saw that on Twitter last night.
Bruh.
That was cold.
Carl, you ain't see that?
No, because I don't watch the pre-show. That's the reason why.
This man Wade Barrett was on the beach giving a promo or whatever, and this girl walks up to him and is like, "Yo, here's your drink," and then she starts walking away and like, bruh.
The cheeks.
Oh no! See, I missed that. Oh, see, I already know Puerto Rico will go show out.
No, facts, bro.
Trust me, there's a lot of people online that will comment and say you will see a lot of that on the beaches of Puerto Rico or in general.
Okay.
It's hot,
but I just had to shout that out because that was crazy. I saw that live. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, I didn't see them until I saw it on Twitter last night. I'm like, whoa, what's this? I'm like, everybody was like, okay, well, everybody was like, what is her name?
What's the ad, bro?
What's the ad? I want to go see it. I want to see the ad. Like, show us. That shit looked too good out there last night. That was great. But yeah, kicking off the show though, the Raw Women's title on the line, Bianca Belair versus Io Shirai.
I did see the match.
What?
Remember Bryce? I Bryce. Tell him when he texted me. He texted me Backline. I was already out. I was still out. I was just coming from the restaurant. See, I was trying to time it, but I miscalculated the time because I stayed at one store too long. So I miscalculated the time, and I was going to be there after the first match. I told him that, and I missed the first match. My first match was Omos and Seth Rollins.
Oh my gosh!
And he told me to go back. He told me to go back to watch this. He told me, he was like, "Man, you should watch this." I'm like, what I feel about a Bianca Belair match, what I know who's gonna win, it's like watching a game with a guy with two teams that one team like, all right, yeah, even though that team is good, I already know they're not about to beat that team. And I don't watch the game. And that's how I felt with that match. I didn't really feel like me personally, I knew the winner, and I ain't think they were going to unleash Io Shirai like that. I just felt like they holding her back a lot. So that's why I felt like I should skip over the match. And
it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because this is the first, and I said this to Bryce. I said Io needed a match like this on main, bro. This is the first match where Io finally got the cook on main roster, man. Like this was fire, dude.
It reminded you of the NXT EO.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's crazy because they didn't even like Bianca didn't do a shooting star, EO didn't do a Spanish fly, and yet they still like were out here showing out, bro. Like if it weren't for the Bad Bunny thing, I feel like this was easily match of the night for me, bro.
Match of the
This was
night.
a very,
See,
very great opener.
dang. See, I'm mad at myself now. I'm going back to watch it.
Now,
I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm going back to watch it now.
now
And
one
that's
thing.
how.
Go ahead.
No. I was just mad at myself. You go ahead.
So I'll say one thing to point out though during this match, especially with the crowd though, crowd turned on Bianca, pro EO. Definitely, they was all with EO throughout this whole match.
Because here's the thing, you knew that was gonna happen soon enough. And you were gonna keep the title on her. And that's what I was afraid of. I was afraid of that and when I watched that match at WrestleMania and she pinned Oscar, and I was thinking to myself, how long do you think the crowd is going to be with this woman? And making it seem like this is like a John Cena run. Like you going to turn. They going to turn soon. It ain't because she not a good wrestler. It ain't because they don't like the gimmick. It's just because you've been at this spot for almost 2 years. Am I 2 years? Am I right? 2 years? Am,
No,
am I right?
it's been a year and like some change.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
she's been the
change. All
champion.
right. All right. You feel what I'm not trying to say that and you can't build a star like that, but we built it. The star is there. You know what I'm saying? The star is burning bright, and we recognize her as the star. So I think it's time to pass the mantle.
I mean,
Some I
I'm gonna touch
know.
on that because I know what you're saying, and I saw a lot of sky is falling takes with Bianca after this match on Twitter, man, as people do. But I feel like this is a Puerto Rico thing. I feel like this was an outlier because we've never heard this reaction for EO since she showed up once at
All
SummerSlam.
right, I would give you that, Steven. Oh man, most definitely, I definitely agree with you because me and Frank was talking about how hot the crowd was. You know what I'm
And
saying?
she even got cheered the SmackDown before, and she got cheered when she came out. It was just when
Yeah, most
when they
definitely.
rang the bell, then they started cheering for EO and Boo and Bianca. So I feel
But
like Puerto Rico just wanted EO to win. I don't really feel like because like I thought this was going to be a thing when she pinned Oscar, but even when she beat Oscar, like she coming out the next night, people cheering her. This was never a thing that happened until this match. So I feel
I
like
understand.
you know I hear what you're saying, and they do run that risk, but I don't think based on this, like all these skies falling takes are, you know,
No. I'm not. You already know me, man. I am not the crazies. But I was, thinking that. You know what I'm saying? When she pinned Oscar, at WrestleMania, and I was like, I was kind of glad the night after WrestleMania, the Monday. I mean, not the night, but the Monday after WrestleMania. I'm kind of glad that to hear the cheers and stuff. But I was just still scared that they were going to run the risk of it because I was such a huge Bianca fan. No matter what the situation is, it's just I do want her next title run to be something, when she after she, dropped the title and when she go back for it and stuff. I want that next title run to be something, it'll be a lot more than this one, So it's just I don't know. I was just scared. And let's put it like that. I was scared that the crowd might end up turning on her. Yeah, I'm on Twitter and stuff, and I see the crazy people talk about how this about Bianca and that about Bianca, but they can't deny the reaction that she gets. So I understand that. I'm not with them, but I was just scared about that.
I
now we
will.
in the same boat because I definitely after she pinned Oscar thought this was going to be the moment, but it just hasn't happened yet. So
Yeah, because
you know,
I will add on to this. And some have already somewhat turned because a lot of people do feel like Oscar should have won it WrestleMania and whatnot. I never really believed Oscar was gonna win. Some believe that Bianca's act has kind of gotten stale after a while. haven't had stronger opponents against her, or at least some strong heels to face off against with Bianca. Because at this point, I'm like, Damian beat everybody and whatnot. So she's just beating them all. But
Yeah,
yeah,
the problem is she keeps getting into these matches where people keep saying stuff like, "Oh, she should beat her," but they haven't done.
You in the show?
What happened?
Yeah, wow.
Bryce, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. What's wrong?
Oh no,
Oh,
no.
I thought something happened. I was like,
Yeah,
No, please go ahead.
But no, yeah,
No,
every time she's in a match like this, Asuka, Io, whatever, people say, well, now's the time Bianca should lose just because she's had it forever. But on the flip side of that, the company hasn't done the work to build these challenges up to make you feel like she should be losing it. Like with Roman, you can make that argument because they had Sami, they had Drew, they had Cody.
Talk
But
about that.
for Bianca, they ain't do that for anybody. Like Asuka won the chamber, but what did they do to make her feel credible to beat Bianca? What did Io do to feel credible to beat Bianca? Like it's like I wanted Io to win because I like Io, not because the company made me want her or felt like she deserved to get that win and take that reign from Bianca. So, when you have the person, you have the person. And it'll probably be Charlotte. So it is what it is. But
yeah, because I kind of had a feeling Bianca. It's like this. I never doubted Bianca was ever gonna lose. Like she's gonna win. I just never really saw her losing the title, even with Damage Control out there trying to get involved. I'm like Bianca was still gonna retain. Some would say that Bianca should turn heel at this point. I don't know, at least get some type of face her. But I don't.
People?
Let me finish. Like,
Oh my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bryce.
so I would say, like, I'm not like saying go agree with the heel turn because one, Bianca is just that great of a face right now that you can't really turn her heel. It's kind of tough to. And she's been a heel before. Not saying she can't do it and whatnot. It's just right now they have as a super strong face right now. It's just kind of like I said before though. It's like what other like strong heels do they really have to face Bianca? Well, now that she's off Raw and now she's on SmackDown, it's kind of like what Steven said. Obviously, she will face Charlotte at some point because I feel like she needs to get off Raw and go to SmackDown.
I can't wait. I can't wait, man. And why y'all do that to me, man?
See, I said that to Bryce though yesterday because it's like all these people are on this Bianca stale. She needs to lose the belt train, and I'm like, okay, but you know who's going to be the one to beat her, right? And so then what you going to say, like,
right? There we go. See, there we go. But it's like it's gonna have to take. It's gonna have to take an up and coming person who they've been building on for a while, or a person who already there. So, choose your pick. You can't really have everything in one bag. That's what I be saying about these wrestlers, man. They just want everything. This guy to get a push, this guy to do this, and this guy to do that. Like everybody can't do everything. It's like, hey man, it's like you gotta wait and see how this stuff. I'm still cool with the title run because it's still giving me good matches.
exactly.
I just think they need to start writing her stories a lot better because it didn't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? All right, she been. Well, go ahead, bro.
Because like that's true when you said about the storyline thing. Because let's look at the Oscar thing. Nothing really ever happened. All they did was just kind of stare at each other damn near every week until one of them actually did something, and they just had the match in Mania, and that was it. It's not like they really built anything upon it. It's just like, all right, Oscar won the chamber. She faces Bianca. Stare off, fight. What's the name of them? Green and Carmella damn near every week. And then, which like I said, I already knew the match was going to be Raw at Mania, but I always kept saying, like, Bianca's not going to lose. But then again, they didn't really do nothing with Asuka, and Asuka's supposed to have this, new gimmick. Everybody's talking about Kana, but they didn't really build off of nothing from that. It's just
Which is funny because that happened even before the Bianca feud. Like we said it at the Rumble, and then the next night she's having a competitive match with Chelsea Green or whatever. It's like what?
Right.
Yeah, like Carmella's taking her to the limit. I'm like,
right.
how?
And then they wanted. And I was like, man, she was supposed to kill these people. And that's what y'all. If that's what the gimmick that y'all trying to get to me, and y'all can't get to me with competitive matches with women that you ain't. I'm not seeing nothing from. Clearly they not going nowhere, but they having competitive matches with these people. Like, nah, man. She was supposed to kill these people in 2 minutes flat.
I'd be happy to be wrong about the Charlotte thing, by the way, because Asuka did get drafted to SmackDown, so you could easily revisit that and have her beat her this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, true. I like that.
because like they
But
moved Oscar
Oscar
to
gonna
Smack.
have to Oscar gonna end up being the more then.
One maybe, possibly.
No,
If
I'm
they
talking
want to
about the
go back.
Oscar gonna be the one that drop it to Charlotte if that ever happened.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
I've seen that.
that's
you know
worse.
the track
I've seen
record.
that
You know
before.
that track record.
I'm tired of her beating Oscar, bro.
Seen it too many times now. I've seen it way too many times. Okay, so no, and I'm trying to see who else is really on the SmackDown women's roster. They moved Damage Control. Bianca's literally killed them long enough at this point. Who else is on SmackDown? Where they moved the NXT Women's Tag Champs there now. Alba and Isla, but they're still the tag team champs, but they moved them. Who else is on SmackDown?
Got
Credible?
Shotzi. She got
Nobody.
right.
Yeah,
Because I'm looking at it right now as we speak, and I can't give you a name. Real
yeah.
talk.
Shotzi, that ain't happening.
Lacey Evans.
That ain't
You
happening.
got. You're right. You got what?
Tamina.
Tamina. Yeah, I just looked at her name. Um,
When's Mina
yeah,
next?
yo, SmackDown women roster is very top heavy to be perfectly honest. Because after after the names of Bianca, Asuka, and Charlotte, everybody else is like
It's like, it's kind of like whatever. Like the NXT tag champs, they just got there. Shotzi, it's not like she was really doing that much before. Lacey
right,
Evans, they looked like they were about to push her, but then they just
and
kind of
then dropped
stopped
it again.
it, dropped it again. She just got dropped because they were trying to act like she was the new Sergeant Slaughter or something, and then it just kind of went away. Tamina, sometimes I forget Tamina's there.
Yeah, it's like I'm looking at these names and it's gonna be a very top heavy between those three. They're gonna carry the SmackDown Women's division. Unless unless somebody prove me wrong. I would like to be proven wrong. You know what I'm saying? Shotzi prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, you know, shoot, dust off Tamina, bring her. Somebody prove me wrong. I just can't see it in this roster though.
Yeah,
You
because
know
like
what I forgot?
What?
Uh, they have been teasing that Bailey and Io are going to be on the out soon. And like even on Friday, they had Bailey hit Bianca into Io. And it's been like a real, like, they haven't been overly, doing it, but they've teased it. They might be having Io break out on her own away from Bailey and Dakota. I mean,
I
Bailey and
hope so.
Dakota even are the ones tag teaming now. So it's like that might be what they're doing, and they're trying to build Io up. So they gave her a match like this, and then down the line we can revisit it, and she be the one. Like, you know, that's out
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
yeah,
Then I'll take it. Most
I,
definitely.
I definitely take it because like right now with Bianca, because now she's like what the longest reigning women's champion of the modern era, the
Hmm.
yeah, the Raw Women's Belt. So obviously they're gonna keep continuing, and I'm gonna come back to the women's title later on, especially how this is about to work in a second. But I'm gonna come back to that when the next women's title match come on. But moving on from this, we then went to who was next? Trying to remember.
Omos versus Seth.
Omos versus Seth Rollins.
That's the match I came in on. I came straight in on.
Some would say Omos' best match up to date.
I mean,
I
it still was
mean,
a high though. Like,
but
That's
here's the
thanks to
thing.
Seth. That's thanks to Seth.
I say to be honest with you, they tried. too hard with Omos in this match. You could tell they were just trying their best. Please, Seth, please make a good match out of this man. We got to do something with this big mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to do something with him. Do try to make a good match. They tried. It just like Steven said. It was just all right. It was just okay.
And
It wasn't even. I can't even praise Omos on this because shoot, you ain't do anything. You barely was on the defense. You was on offense like 90% of this match. You was on offense.
yeah, and here's a problem I feel like with Omos and how they book him. It's like, okay, he's gonna kill these like job guys on Raw and do these squash matches, but then we're gonna put him in these big high level pay-per-view matches so he can lose, which
Yeah.
mean much if it keeps happening. Because like, okay, he beat some guys on Raw, then he faces Brock in Mania, and he lost to Brock. Now it's okay, beat some job guys on Raw again, go against Seth, lose to Seth. And it's like, I feel like it's been done a couple more than I can count right now, but it's like,
Braun
you
Strowman.
can't, Braun Strowman,
There
that's
we
another
go.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's not going to keep working. It's like, he can't just beat some no names or just job guys on Raw all the time and then face these like high level guys in a big pay-per-view match just to lose again, because it's not like he's gotten a win over any of these guys right now. And it's so long how many times you can keep doing that, because shit, he's not even drafted to any show. I'm like, he's a free agent, right? They kept saying that.
Yeah, he is. And,
Yeah,
the
which
free
isn't even what
agent.
that means.
They're right. The free agent gets to choose what show he wants to be on. He don't get to. He don't get to say, okay, one week I get to be on this team, and then the next week I get to be on that team. Like, whoa,
Exactly.
hold on, that's not how this works.
These niggas have never watched a sport in their lives, bro.
And
Like
then
this.
like, right, my goodness, like how do like y'all don't understand what a free agent does. Free agent is a person who is just he gets to choose, and he just not the one who being drafted. But speaking of that though, can I go into that right quick? Everybody but Brock Lesnar seems like a good. It seems like odd to me, random or things. It seems like guys that they didn't know what to do with. Because the free agent pool goes like this: Baron Corbin, Cedric and Shelton Benjamin, Dolph Ziggler, Elias, Mustafa Ali, Von Wagner, and Isan Quinn. You know Isan Quinn. Am I supposed to pronounce? I don't know if I'm pronouncing the boy name right, but you know,
Yeah, from NXT. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Zion Quinn.
So why I'm over here scratching my head like, why are any of these guys free agents? Like,
Yeah, what does it hurt to just draft them somewhere?
right? Would it just hurt to keep Bond and outside? Quinn in the key if that's the case. Like keep Elias on roll, keep Dolph on roll. Like what was the point of any of this? Like this just sometimes they just try to be so sports like, and then they just miss the mark altogether.
Yeah, what's the benefit of being able to have Dolph Ziggler on either one of your shows at any given time?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
he
what
a
does that
drop.
do
He
for
a drop.
anybody?
I'm sitting there listening to half these people like, what is the benefit of some of these guys other than Brock? Because I'm looking at some of them like, I'm
Yeah,
like
that's what I was
Von
saying.
Wagner. I'm like, what,
Von
dude, he
Wagner,
didn't do nothing
right?
on NXT. Like, dude, he didn't do nothing on NXT. But then I kept hearing, oh, he's gonna be getting a big push, and they said, oh, he's getting a push because he looks like Edge in a way or something like that.
That sounds like Theory looking like John Cena. That means nothing,
Right.
bro. Because he's white with
It,
long hair. Like, what are we talking about?
Like, come on, I've
I'll go
seen him
get to
on
him when we
NXT.
get
He's
to
not.
him. For
Oh,
real.
yeah. Yeah, because
Oh,
like I've seen him on NXT. He was not all that on NXT. So like how is he even a free agent? And I'm like, how many people want this guy? And listen, I like Dolph Ziggler, but come on, when is the last time he's really done anything important? Like really sit there and think about it. Same thing for
and going
Cedric
back
and
to
Shelton.
going back to Omos, And I understand what they really want to do with the boy and everything, but it's at a cost. You're going to have to get this man a big win. And it's going to cost one of your stars to have to do this, to have to lay down for this guy. But it ain't like y'all ain't never asked your stars to lay down for big goofies. And before your in y'all career, shoot, look at the Great Khali. You fed the Undertaker to her, so it's like you're gonna have to feed one of your stars to this guy. And somebody gonna have to take the L, or else Omos is just gonna be a guy that people is not gonna pay attention to at all.
Because
And
it took like what 3 curb stomps to take him down. And it was like a super curb stomp off the top rope to
yeah,
beat him.
Yeah,
they
it's
kept
kind of
trying to make him.
hilarious that Seth beat him decisively, but Cody couldn't beat Brock decisively. Like,
There we go.
that's kind of hilarious. But the problem is with Omos, man. I mean, you just said it, Kyle, because I mean that's what they have to do if they want to do something with Omos. You got to put him over a big name. But the problem is, it's just like when me and Bryce were talking about where Nick Aldis would end up. Who exactly are you going to put him over? Like, why would you put anybody under Omos if like and to do what? Is he going to be champion in this company? Like I don't see that happening. So I mean, are we going to feed a Seth Rollins to Omos to what end, bro? Like, and so
And I
when you
want to
keep doing
piggyback
that,
off of that.
if you keep doing that, then it's like, all right, well then what are we even doing with Omos? If he's just going to be a traction guy, then just put him with celebrities or something, like because he's not going to
Yeah,
factor into the roster.
And
So
I'll say this too, just to kind of piggyback off that, because I remember Kyle saying this many months ago about MVP and Omos. Like, what'd you say? Like, it's almost like a Carney thing when, like, you say MVP, we say, okay, everybody, look at the giant, like,
yeah.
put the top hat
I
on,
think
look at
that's
the
what they
giant.
want. I think that's what they want to do, Bryce. I'm not going to even lie to you. I really think that's what they want to do. But here's the thing. Well, one, here's a big glary one is we not in those days anymore. You get what I'm saying? So those days is not gonna fly. We not gonna unless this man know how to do something, a wrestle or be agile or something. We not gonna be entertained by this big giant man who could pick up a 6 foot guy. Oh, of course he can. And like and then two, what I wanted to say with Steven, when he said, "Is he going to be a world champion anytime soon?" Like that's what they did with Great Khali. Before they put the world championship on him, they had him be the big name. So they already had it in their heads that they were going to put the world championship on him one day. I don't think they. I don't think they ever thinking about that with Omos. I don't think they ever thinking about putting the world championship on this guy. So that's why I'm thinking that's the reason why he taking these L's against these big names because they already thinking to themselves like we're not gonna ever put him as a big name. So why would we ever put him over a big name? And that's why I agree cold heartedly with with Steven.
yeah, the best thing they could do for him is have him beat a bunch of people on Raw, your Dolphs, your Mustafas, and all that, and then earn him a match with Gunther so Gunther can beat him, and we just move on. That's the best thing you can do right now, Omos.
Cause like right now they just got him losing to just all these big names, but it's like, well, what is the point of even doing this, getting him to this point, if it's just gonna have him lose? Because it's like I already knew Dance and Seth out there weren't gonna lose, so it just like it was already like a foregone conclusion. Like you already knew Seth was gonna win this match. Like he did his best to try to make him look like a credible threat out there, and almost like a killer, but it doesn't help
hey,
if he
hey, hey,
continues to lose.
one other thing before we leave off the subject. Yeah, do y'all think that kind of hurting them? Because you already know this guy is not really like the safest guy. Because sometimes he can do stuff safe, but sometimes that stuff looks stiff. And you putting your one of your top names out there to try to make a good match with this guy. It's like, look. you're gonna end up messing up somebody.
Well,
Cause
we
they
could get
got
into a whole other conversation about how they're wasting Seth Rollins this year, but
yeah, yeah. I totally agree with you.
I
You
feel
ain't
like they
even
got
said anything about it yet, but I already know I'm gonna agree with every point because I know
I feel like they need
and
to
I
give
feel
him
it
a
the
world
same
title.
way.
They
that
probably
title was
should,
made for Seth Rollins, bro, to give him
Yeah,
something to do, man.
because right now Seth is just kind of going around facing anyone. It looks
random.
like, and it's just
They just gonna
anybody.
pick somebody. I'm telling you, they gonna pick a person out the hat next time. I think that's what they did with this match at Backlash. Man, who we got? Man, pick a person out the hat. Who we got? Oh man, we got Omos. Omos, okay, put Seth against
Yep,
Omos then.
just go out there. Everybody starts singing the song, and just go put on a match with him and whatnot. So yeah,
Well, they
Seth is
really had
just
the
kind
nerve to give this match a video package. I couldn't believe it. Like, are you
Yeah,
serious?
like
Based off
they had.
what, bro?
Like, how they get a video package? I'm glad I skipped past the video package. They was already in the ring where by the time I came in the crib.
it
So
was so
that it was
random. So that it was like random how they did it too. That's how they announced the match. It was random. It's like it's Seth Rollins versus Omos. I said, why?
Right, on a
Why?
random SmackDown, they just said it. Like, no interaction or anything. They just said it.
This match is at Backlash. I was like, why? I don't get that. So it makes no sense. But next though, probably the shortest match of the night. U.S. title on the line. Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory, Bronson Reed.
Well, you think this went shorter than Rhea and Zelina?
Was it shit? I thought.
no, I think this one a little longer, just a tad bit longer. But they
Long.
was
Probably was.
I think
I'm trying to remember.
because they were kind of boom boom bam. You know what I'm saying? They did a lot of big moves. They went to the outside. They did a lot of really quick, really quick, high impact type of things in that match.
Yeah.
So it was pretty. It was quick, but I don't think it was quicker than Selena and what's the name?
Well,
Rhea
Rhea.
I'm
match.
looking at the timing. The triple threat match was 6 minutes and 50 seconds. The SmackDown Women's title was 7 minutes and 10
Yeah,
Oh
seconds.
my gosh, throw them
yeah.
both away, bro.
And
6 minutes
This
for a triple
match,
threat? What?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You, it was. I think you needed to do that because it was no build to this really. It just came out of the Club Blue a couple of weeks ago, and you kind of figured that Theory wasn't gonna lose. Like even if he did lose, would it make a difference?
I
Because
actually had him
remember,
losing because I couldn't
you had
believe
a
when this was
losing.
over. Yeah, I couldn't believe when this was over. He was still champion. It's like, no way, bro. This was a
Can I ask
perfect
y'all a question?
opportunity.
Can I ask y'all?
Theory's just there. He's just
I was
there to
just
me right now.
I was just about to ask y'all a question about Theory. Now I want your honest opinion. After that match against at WrestleMania against arguably the one of the legends of the game, and you beat one of the legends of the game. How how is his run to y'all so far after that?
Mid?
I'll answer your question with this. Everybody who's online complaining about Bianca, I need y'all to keep that energy for this nigga, bro.
I think they exhausted their energy with that. And remember, at one point, nobody wanted him to do nothing ever. So
I
you
still
get.
don't.
But I think you after after knowing that it falling on deaf ears, you just stop talking about it. Like they had to win the money in the bank. Nobody wanted that. You know what I'm saying? That they had to have a the title reign that don't mean anything with the U.S. title. He just keeping it hostage. As you ask me, it's like
Exactly.
he very bland. And going back to remember when you were saying about John Cena, you was like, man, people said that Bob Wagner looked like Edge, is just like the same people who said Theory should get a push because he looked like John Cena. And he just very bland to me. It's like people confuse his heat with oh, they booing him. That must be something good. No, they booing him because they said you suck, nigga. You go get out my TV screen, get out the ring. We don't want to see you.
Honestly,
Go ahead,
honestly,
Bray. My bad.
I feel like he's like just mid. I've said it before last month. Like he is a generic heel with a beard. That's kind of it. It's like the match with Cena. I kind of forget he even beat Cena now at this point, and everything in that promo Cena cut on him, damn near has literally came true at this point. Because right now he just kind of feels like he has the title just because. That's kind of it. And even outside there, like, is moving him to SmackDown going to really make a difference? Like, is it because he just feels like a creator wrestler? And I said that when he was on NXT years ago. Like, he's
And
not
see,
bad, but he's like a creator wrestler. In
I,
2K, he's the
I,
Tempest model.
I like that you kind of brought that he moved to SmackDown. And guess what, Bryce? You want to answer to that question? Is it going to make a difference? No, because I'm looking at the SmackDown roster, and I'm thinking to myself, what was the point of bringing him over there? Because I know you're gonna have him feud with Bobby Lashley. I know I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? I know that to keep Bobby busy, you gonna have him feud with Theory. Why we just couldn't see that on Raw? We've been seeing it on Raw for the past year anyway. So I'm looking at this roster, right, Steven, and it's not gonna make a difference. It's SmackDown is heel heavy. I'm looking at this. It's very heel heavy over here.
Honestly, I said this last night because I told Steven this. One, I thought most of this match was literally just Lashley and Bronson Reed out there. Two, I'd rather see Cameron Grimes or Grayson Waller beat Theory and have the U.S. title now. I'd rather see one of them. Like, I just want the belt off Theory. I'd rather see Grimes or Waller with it.
Well, you probably see that because even though I'm looking at it as very heel heavy, SmackDown looked like by this roster. I could be wrong. By this roster, it looked like the real land of opportunity, what they were really wanting SmackDown Live to be. But it's really looking like that because it looked like you got your veterans over here, but at the same time they put those NXT stars over there or guys who they really want to push. You know, even though we don't want to push, but they trying to push off the Theory. So it looked like SmackDown is that land of opportunity type of thing over here because I'm looking at the roster. It looked like Cameron Grimes going to get that chance. Once you say Grayson Waller going to get that chance, you know they're going to get that chance. It looked like that to me. I could, I could be wrong.
Yeah, Theory's trash. That's all I really got to say about it, man. Like,
Mid.
I thought for sure this nigga was losing this title, man, because it's the perfect setup. Like, first of all, they set it up on SmackDown last week for the draft where Lashley got drafted. So I said, okay, so he can win the triple threat and take the belt with him to SmackDown, and that's that. But then they moved Theory with them on Raw.
Right,
I said,
right.
okay, well, still, because y'all don't really do anything with Theory, so y'all could still have Lashley be like the Gunther over here now, have him win and have him go on a tear, and that be that. But because Theory won, and he won the same way he won the belt in the first place, bro. He won because Lashley did a move on somebody, and I'm like,
It's
y'all
a,
keep half-assing this push for him, bro. Either y'all think he's good and he should be beating people, or y'all don't. And if y'all don't, then why are y'all pushing him, bro? Because he didn't beat Cena clean. He only won the title because of Lashley. He only kept the title because of Lashley. And I'm just like, bro, get this nigga off of my television. Cause it's
Steven, I
lame,
want to
bro.
tell you, I want to answer that question for you. With that question, you was like, if you think he good, do you just why you not having him beat people? If you don't think he good, why you got him with the championship? Because it's actually, you can tell right there to there that it's a war in the writing room, and in two halves. one half don't think he really that good, and the other half just think he could be this mega star. So they buddy heads in that writing room. You can tell by his booking. You can tell that they buddy heads. They whoever rated him just keep it just making him look strong enough just to have a championship. We can't have him look weak because he got the championship on him. But at the same time, we not going to have him as this guy who could beat anybody clean. You know, you could. I like. I don't think personally. I really don't think he's that guy. I really don't.
You're not that guy, pal.
Yeah, he's not that guy. And I said,
It's
like I
just
said a few minutes ago, he's a generic heel with a beard. That's kind of it. At least with that selfie stuff, he had a sort of a gimmick to him. But right now, he just feels like a generic guy. He's a generic dude, heel with a beard. That's kind of it.
Who looks
Just
like generic John Cena. Like before Cena was
right.
good.
He looked like the prototype.
yes, the prototype. Thank you.
It's like, but at the same time, the prototype was just about to get fired, wasn't he? Before he
Yeah,
became John Cena.
until Cena started rapping in, and that helped him.
That's why I
So
don't
if
get, bro. Y'all said yourselves. Cena said it himself. I was just some generic dude, and I had nothing they wanted, so they were about to fire me. Okay, here comes Austin Theory, who looks
yeah,
exactly like you from that era. Actually, let's push this guy. Like, what? What
what
are we
20
on,
years could
bro?
what 20 years could do, right? What 20 years
Shit,
could really
even
do?
even in the way, he was a little bit more entertaining when he was in the way, at least
I thought he
somewhat.
was very entertaining in the way, and that's where he should be, way out the way of the championship scene. Like,
There we go. But here's the thing: it's like you got these people out here who just always solely looks at looks and just think you can do something with that person because of that how that person look. And it's like it just baffled me because of that. It's like I understand he's in great shape. But at the same time, man, if you ain't entertained by this nigga, why we keeping this nigga around?
like I
I
said,
mean,
man, if you got this energy about Bianca's boring, get the title off of her. I need y'all to keep that for Theory, bro, because y'all Twitter trolls are getting on my nerves. Like, because at least she putting up numbers. I don't know what Theory doing,
right.
bro. He missing
He
layups
not
and
doing
everything,
nothing.
bro.
He not doing
Bianca's
nothing,
dunking.
bro.
Bianca out here
Uh, well,
dunking.
what else we got? We get off
Next,
this
so
thing.
let's move on. Right after that, we got the SmackDown Women's Title on the line. Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega. Listen, honestly, this match only happened because Vega is from Puerto Rico
I
and her
mean, of
family
course,
is
we
from
all know
Puerto
that.
Rico. That's kind of it. Because I sat there wondering, like, how did she get this match again? I'm like, who did she beat? And then I had to remember she literally just went to Adam Pearce on SmackDown and said, hey, it's going to be in my home country of Puerto Rico. Can I have this match? And like, oh, yeah, sure, you can have it. Like, nigga,
I
what?
mean,
Like,
they said they conditioned us for with those type of challenges because people would be coming down for the past 3-4 years and come out, hey, I want a title match. You got it. They conditioned us that that type of stuff will happen and it can happen.
yeah, because like
Do it
Vega
make sense? No.
Because like Vega was never gonna win, and I know they, like I said, they really did as much to hype up Puerto Rico. Her gear had like the Puerto Rican colors and whatnot, and they did like to make it a big deal. But I just sat there like, dude, like she ain't beating Ripley.
Now, of
Like we
course,
all knew
we
that.
all
Like
do
of
that.
course we all knew that. It just like I was wondering, like, man, it's really a match, huh? But like, well, it's Puerto Rico. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why this match is happening, because Puerto Rico.
I
That's kind of
mean,
it.
give it to her. Why not?
Might as
When she
well.
was
Like,
going to get that home, she was going to get that home crowd feel to it. It's like you knew what you were going to get. And it wasn't the match per se that they were looking at. It was more the presentation. Man, look at this crowd. They pro Selena. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like you. It was like a hometown type of thing. It really wasn't more than that. That's how I looked at it the whole time.
She
I'm
gets her
like,
big moment. She gets her big moment in
there
her
we
like
go.
home country in front of her friends and family and whatnot. That's all this was about. It was more of like the moment and presentation and whatnot. Because like nobody ever really believed she was going to win the title. Like I didn't. So this is more of a moment thing. The match was okay. It was what it was. That's
Yeah,
my
I definitely agree with you. It was definitely okay. I really wanted it to match up with the presentation, but like by the time I got to the middle of the match, y'all, I already figured it was just more of a presentation than a match because I was like, yeah, yeah, it really not really a banger. It was an okay match. What you think, Steven? It was
This
how you like?
match uh reminded me exactly why I said what I did when Liv Morgan was champion. Y'all need a mid card title for the women. Because imagine if they
Man,
had one and she was wrestling like I don't know, Tamina or something, Natalia
uh,
for the mid card title and she won in her hometown. Like that's
ooh,
fire.
man, I like that. I mean, they turned down that rumor. I heard it was a rumor that they wanted to do it, and then people later on in the week turned it down because they've been hearing it been circulated the social media. They're like, man, nah, it's not gonna. I, but I agree with you from when you said that. Back a few pay-per-views ago, and I definitely agree with you, Steven. It's like, look, to be honest with you now, your roster is getting bigger than what it was before. It ain't like the good old, not the good old days. It ain't like the days of yesteryear when you only had a certain amount of people who could wrestle and everybody else going into a broader petty match. No, from your top to the bottom, you got at least good to okay wrestlers. And the okay wrestlers can be the okay women wrestlers. They can get better if you know what I'm saying. If they get a chance in like a big match opportunity like this,
Like
it's
level
like
it up. Like it should be how the Intercontinental title used to be, where you hold
yeah,
that, and that means you could be next in line to go for the world title. Like there's
uh
no
huh,
reason a Zelina Vega, after doing nothing for a year, should be wrestling Rhea Ripley for the world title of the
world
brand.
title.
Like that, it
Yeah, I
just doesn't
understand.
compute, man. So if
I
you had a
understand.
mid card title, you could avoid that whole situation, and she could have
Yeah,
even won. So it's
yeah.
it's every time a woman like this, like a Zelina, a Liv Morgan, an Aaliyah, a Shotzi is in a match like this, it just is always going to feel like, well, they shouldn't be winning this match. And if they do win, that's ridiculous, bro. Like, hometown or not, bro, Rhea Ripley should have destroyed her, and that'd be that. But
agree.
See, they
it
was
is
just,
what it is, you
you
know?
could tell in the match. You could tell in the match that they were trying to avoid that completely just destroying her thing. Rhea, every time Rhea went on some offense, and Selena moved out the way and she hit the rope. So Selena would do something, hit her leg or something, and she'd fall on her face. It's like they was trying to make sure that she just didn't get ran over. You know what I'm saying? In that match in front of her, in front of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I give them their props. I mean, they tried their best, but they gave Zelina nothing before this match to make her feel like she should even be in this position. So,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
yeah, it was just really kind of hard to believe because, like I said, it's not like Zelina was doing nothing before, and the most we've really seen is just her in the LWO, who continue to take multiple counts of L's almost every
I
week.
told you, you can't spell LWO without taking an L. I told you, man. You just didn't believe me, right? So you gotta spell LWO, you gotta have an L in it, right? And that's how
that's
many
facts.
L's they gonna have.
Yeah,
That's how
I
many
tell you,
L's
they
they
need
gonna be
more people.
taking. Hey, can I say something about that though? Hey,
They need more people.
here's the thing: the LWO, the faction back in the day wasn't like it was. You can look at it now at hindsight and like, man, how many Hall of Famers that was in that group, but they wasn't Hall of Famers then. And you know what I'm saying? And that group wasn't like how it is, like how you people wanted to see it. Like it really wasn't that group. It was like a little faction of the NWO. The only reason why it was so popular because the NWO was so popular. Like I don't remember them ever being inside this big feud or had it. You know what I'm saying? Like people were like, man, they making fun of the NWO. I mean, LWO. They making a mockery out of it. Like, when was it this big fashion that they were just winning all the time? You
Also,
know,
yeah, and to add on to that, with the mission statement of the LWO back then, when Eddie was leading it, was to try and get all the luchadors like the respect, because Bischoff was so focused in the NWO and whatnot. Eddie just decided to, build his own army and whatnot, and then they was going to try to take over and like get the respect that they wanted. It's just like, given that they brought it now with Ray leading it and whatnot. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's long-term storytelling," because if you remember back in 1999, Ray never took off the shirt when they disbanded the LWO, and he kept it going. So it's long-term storytelling. I'm not sure about that, but
nah, I think it's money making
it's
storytelling. If
it's
you
more
ask me,
money
because
making in this a nostalgia act, because at least back then the LWO at least had an actual type of mission of what they were trying to do, especially with Eddie Guerrero leading the charge at the time and building his own army with all the luchadors and whatnot. Because at this point I said, like, well, maybe they need new members in this group or something, or I don't
They just
know.
need to start winning, bro.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
well,
a
wins mostly.
yeah. Because the members of the group is and who I would want to be in that group. To be honest with you, Legato Fantastic, man, they are a good group. Man, all three of those guys are good. I like
You know, it's
I,
weird. I saw people saying, "Oh, they need to get rid of what's his face, DJZ right there, Zima Ion." Like, oh, he's Filipino. He shouldn't be in the group. Apparently,
Well, I mean,
dang, my
there's credence
goodness,
to that though. Like,
my goodness.
he's not Latino. I mean,
I understand what y'all saying.
yeah.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
that's fair.
that
But yeah,
that
that,
that
that,
you
yeah,
know
I
that because a lot of
understand.
people pointed that out. Like, he's not really Latin, right? Because I've heard that. Also, Chavo Guerrero, who continues to run his mouth, tries to say, yeah, them bringing the LWO is like a cheap Hollywood ripoff remake, since Chavo likes to talk a lot nowadays. Right now,
yeah. What?
yeah, he definitely runs his mouth a lot. But nah, I like the LWO. They really just need to get wins, because it's like, it's cool you brought the group back, but it don't mean shit if they don't win anything. Even Ray's taking L's out there.
Hmm.
Like, come on now, like, really think about that. But kind of speaking on into that, we now move into this, which was should have been the main event, and I'm sure everybody can agree with that. The San Juan street fight with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. And I'm sure everybody agreed this could have ended the show, and we all could have just went home happy from there.
It should have ended the show. Not could have.
Because
It should have.
the
Man, I
mega
saw it.
the super mega pop Bad Bunny got, especially for both nights when he went out there, is insane. And this was good, because honestly, I thought this was going to be a tag match. Going into this whole pay per view, I thought it was probably going to be Ray and Bad Bunny going against
He
Priest
held
and
his
Dominic.
own. He
I had
held his own for his first
But he held
one-on-one
his own.
match.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. He held his own, because that's what I thought was going to happen at first. But I'm like, okay, they're going to have him go one-on-one. And I'm like, all right, it's a street fight. So, it does protect him in a way too. So that helped a lot. And like I said, this was a wild, crazy match out there. Bad Bunny, we know he's good in the ring. We've seen it before. So it's really no doubt into that. But I'm sure the craziest part of this whole match was when your run-ins start happening. Uh, Balor and Dominic coming out, and Ray comes out then, and then Carlito. I was surprised to see
Oh,
Carlito.
I popped for that. I ain't
I
gonna lie
popped
to
for
you.
that.
I did. I popped for
I
Carlito.
popped for Carlito, so I was that was crazy when I saw him come out and him having the apple again and spitting in Dominic's face. And then Savio Vega comes out. He gets a super pop because like when's the last time you really seen Savio Vega around? And then the rest of the LWO members come out, and then they all start jumping. Balor and Dominic then and stuff, and how crazy that was. And like I said, still Priest and Bunny, which Bunny almost already landed on his head doing that sliced bread. Yeah, sliced bread.
Yeah, me and my brother said the same thing. We were watching it. I'm like, oh man, Bad Bunny almost messed himself up with that one.
gotta be careful because like this match went nearly about 25 minutes out there.
Man, they gave them a lot of time.
They did, and Bunny was beating the hell out of Priest with the chair, and whatnot. He was just beating the hell out of him, and then he hit a Canadian Destroyer for the win. And then everybody just comes out, celebrates. They hold Bunny up. They got the Puerto Rican flag. The crowd is all just singing along, to his theme song and whatnot. Like it was like you could have just ended the show on there. Like the guy is literally a freaking megastar out there. Okay, like people know who he is. It's his home country. They know how big he is in music right now. So just you could just end it off from there because I was like, it's gonna be hard to follow that.
And they didn't.
It was.
It's like, yeah, and
don't get me wrong, they were still hot, but it was gonna be hard to follow that pop.
Oh, yeah, this was the hottest
right
of the night. And I know some people question, if this should have been the main event because, like, oh, we're putting a celebrity in the main event. But this is one of those times.
Come on now.
Right.
Yeah, and I've heard that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I've heard that, but I'm like, this is one of those times where, like, nah, you can give this a pass. You can definitely give this a pass because
the nigga on the poster, like
right.
Like he's on the poster. He was hosting the show. He's on the poster. That's who they hyped this whole show around. Was him. They've been hyping it since WrestleMania and whatnot. And you see the reactions when he comes out for like, and we've seen it, whether it's been at WrestleMania or when he showed up on Raw, like over here in Chicago, he's gonna get a big pop because a lot of people listen to his music. They know how big of a star he is. Like, I don't know all his music like that, but I'm not gonna sit here and deny that the dude's like a superstar right now. Like, they know he's a legitimate fan. They know he's like one of the only celebrities, like, and I'm saying like one of them that take this stuff seriously, and he's really good in the ring because between him and Logan Paul, both of them are really good. And
the standard has changed for celebrities, man.
Yeah, they them have taken this shit seriously, and they both of them have put on damn good matches out there. Because hey, I doubted Bad Bunny at first, but hey, proved me wrong once WrestleMania came along. I'm like, he's really good. So, like I said, because he took time out of his own schedule just to train, and I remember Randy Orton giving him a lot of respect and whatnot because he thought he was just gonna be here for a payday. Like, no, he wanted to go out there and put on a legitimate match. And that's what we have seen from the past few times he has been on TV. And we see how people react to him, whether it be wrestling or if you listen to the guy in general.
Yeah, if I could levy a criticism to this match, because I did enjoy it. I thought it went way too long, and not in it was dragging kind of way. But they should have ended it at the crescendo, right? You had the Carlito and Savio and LOWO, all that came out, and then there was still like 5 minutes of match after that. Like when he put that figure 4 on, he should have tapped, and that should have been it. Like but they kept that joint going, and it was, I was kind of like, okay, he kick out, boom, kick out, boom, kick out. Like this does not need to be that, Right when at the hype of it, he put that figure 4 on, that should have been it, and we go home,
They could have ended it from there, but now they kept going still.
I thought the match would go to end. Remember, right after all of that commotion had ended, the Damian Priest had hit him with that choke slam. I thought that was going to be the end right there. That's what I really did. I ain't going to lie to you. I thought WWE was going to pull one of those stunts. Like, oh, man, Damian Priest was going to go over. And so that's what I thought. Then once I saw the jump out, the kick out, I'm like, oh, hold on. Well, we got to continue some more with this? All right, cool. And then, like you said, he hit him with the figure four. He was in a figure four for a long time. Yeah, and it's like you should have hit the crescendo. You could have hit it right then and there, bam, with that bigger folk.
Yeah, I had the same criticism about that AJ and Finn match. Like, you spent so much of this match working the leg, and then he puts a leg move on him. He doesn't tap. Then he gets up and he loses to something else. like, what do we even do that for? Then? Like,
Yeah, because they were focused on Priest's knee and leg throughout a lot of this match. That's what they had focused on a lot from. Like
and
he
it
was
didn't
holding his knee.
even apply to the finish.
Right, it didn't even apply to the finish.
It's like we gotta do some more chair shots. We gotta do a sliced bread. We gotta do a Canadian destroyer. Like we gotta add like a little bit more time in this just because. So I can agree it did go on very long. Like it was still really good, but it could have been shaved off a few minutes though at the same time and could have ended. It's like they just kind of wanted to keep going and going, and it's like they just want to give him as much time as possible because they gave him a
Yeah,
lot of time.
to make up for it not being the main event, I guess. But you didn't even have to make that decision.
Because it's like we all just said, like they could have just ended it right there with them holding Bad Bunny up high and crowd just singing along to his music,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
they
Like
could
a
have just
party or something, man. They all of a sudden it just turned into a party afterwards.
it turned into one of his concerts basically. It turned into one of his concerts. So yeah, because I thought this was gonna be at least like because if not the main event, I thought it was gonna be the co-main event at first. I'm like, oh, it's on now. I'm like, damn, I thought they would have waited till damn near the end to do this thing. So that's
Nah,
what I thought.
they
Yeah,
put it,
because Roman's not here, so then you got to look at it as, well, what's the biggest thing on this show? And obviously, it's Bad Bunny coming to Puerto Rico to wrestle. Like,
yeah,
but that
right.
didn't main event because why? So,
Brock Lesnar, Brock. That's the only
Yeah,
reason why you. That's the only
right,
reason why Brock Lesnar.
and then you
right.
ask,
If
is
Brock.
Brock Lesnar a bigger deal in Puerto Rico than Bad Bunny? Like,
Right. Yeah, there we go.
no.
That's the
Like
question right there. Is he? Yeah, you answer that question. No, he is not.
no, because
Like, come
no, Bad Bunny is basically damn near God in Puerto Rico.
I didn't even think. Well, my brother, me and him were talking about it because they were talking about the double main event. They were talking about that double main event with the SmackDown Women's Championship was about to come on and stuff, right? So me and him were debating, like, oh, so that gonna be the main event then? That's the main event. And so it came after the SmackDown Women's Championship, and I'm like, oh, okay, then. So we also debated, and then I said, no, I automatically just slid KO it them in the main event. I'm like, oh, so it gotta be KO Sami Zayn and them as the main event. And then they ended up not being the main event. And I was like, oh, my brother was like, what about Brock Lesnar and Cody? And I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about them being the main event. And that's how you get what I'm saying. Like the hierarchy, I had Bad Bunny match being the main event. If that's not going to be the main event, okay, then give me the 6-man tag. Then is that going to be the main event? Oh, that's not going to be it. What, you gonna give me Cody and Brock? I wasn't really thinking about that. I really wasn't.
Yeah, 'cause it's like I said earlier, it was really hard to top this. Like you almost really couldn't top what just happened right here. Like this was literally the main event that just happened. So, because even it took me a while to kind of understand like Bad Bunny's impact in wrestling in general. Like people already knew he was a star outside. I just didn't know how big of a star he really is. So like the dude is that big of a damn star and whatnot. So, like I said, yeah, he's big in the music world, but like shit, he comes to wrestling now. Yeah, everybody's ready to see because even there's a lot of people who sit there like, yeah, I never knew the guy's music, but hell, he's really good in the damn ring. Like
Yeah.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah,
It's
and they
like,
don't even follow their own rules, man. Because, like, imagine Roman wasn't champion right now, and say Cody beat him, right? And on WrestleMania next year, The Rock came back to wrestle Roman. Cody's not main eventing that show. It doesn't matter that he's world champion. It's The Rock versus Roman, right? It's like
Yeah.
right.
you always go with the biggest match. That's what they say, right? So why would it
Yeah.
not be a Bad Bunny performance in Puerto Rico? Like,
Uh,
you could
uh,
have ended this
uh,
joint with a concert, and they would have left
Oh
home
yeah,
happy.
he could have came out
Like,
on one of his songs and stuff, and crowd would
I
have been nuts and go happy for that. Just go out and perform one of
Do
your
you think
music.
they were scared?
Yes.
Do you think they were scared that that match wasn't gonna be as good as you know? It might end up falling apart or something might end up happening. You think they were scared to put that match in because of Bad Buddy just his first one-on-one
Well, I
match?
would have thought that going in, but they gave it 25 minutes.
Yeah, they
So,
gave him
Mhm.
25 minutes out
so
there
I don't
because
know.
if they really feared it, they would have done a tag match. Because if someone
Uh huh.
say one on one, like, well, we can't have this guy getting injured. He's too big of a star, and obviously he has a very busy schedule. So we can't really afford for this guy to get hurt because he's literally everywhere. Like I remember somebody was posting earlier, like this guy went from Coachella to the Met Gala, now to Backlash. So yeah, he went from performing to wrestling a match.
Yeah, that
So
boy. Yeah, he would get it. He would get it.
yeah, like I said, they don't want to afford for him to get hurt, but like I said, the guy's really good in the ring, so like I can't really say anything bad about him. Like I said, I don't think I'll say about this match. It just went on a little bit too long, but they could have just ended it from there because like me and Gerard said the same thing last night. Yeah, we could have just ended the show from there. Like that's how big it was, and this wasn't even a stadium show. This was just like a big arena show, and we saw how the crowd was. Okay, like it's like Steven said, they sing along. All right, they're singing his music.
Yep.
How more bigger can you keep going?
I mean, the whole crowd is singing his song. I mean, my
Like
goodness,
like they know
that
they
felt
know
good.
his music. So there you go. They know his music. They know how big he is, especially in Puerto Rico. Okay, it's his home country and whatnot. They already know how big he is in America. Just it's like here, this is his home. So like there you go. But
Yeah, this match being where it was made the rest of the show suffer for me by like a lot.
it did because now moving on into the next part of this show was the 6-man tag, which honestly I kind of forgot about it in a way with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle versus the Bloodline.
And look, man, only thing I have to say about this match, it was just, it was, it, it was too much storylines going on in this match. My goodness, so it seemed like I was watching a TV show. It was like they have to stop it. And Jay have to talk to Solo. No, and then, and then all of a sudden, all of a sudden, Solo has to tag himself in, and he got to like, my goodness, it was too much storytelling with this. And I know you're supposed to, don't get me wrong, but it got to be a happy medium with this.
How long did this match go, bro?
22 minutes. 22
Yeah,
minutes.
that sounds about right.
Happen,
It's
Cause
like it's
it
like
10
a
happened.
minutes,
yeah,
hey, 10
20
minutes of this match was heat, bro, and that's why I didn't like
yeah,
it.
because I'm like this match felt long, and I'm like 22, like yeah, wow, it went really 22 minutes. That's a whole episode of Seinfeld. It takes us a whole episode of Seinfeld to get past this
That's
match.
why I called it a TV show because man, half of that, like Steven said, was heat, and then the other half was have to tell the story of the decision of the bloodline. Like Sammy, Sammy saying that Kevin Owens and Matt Riddle were just extra characters in the story of the bloodline decision. That's what they was to me. That's how they felt to me. It was just extra characters in the decision of the bloodline. Even
Yeah,
though they
because
are the reason why the decision of the bloodline is happening, but it's the main focus is the dissension. It ain't the main focus ain't the people. It's not the heroes who destroy the bloodline. Is it's the story is about the villains and how the destruction of the villains. It's like you can't tell a superhero story like that. Why would you tell it that story like that?
like you said, you talk about the extras, like yeah, Riddle, because and let's remember Riddle was taken out by Solo
And
before
I'm not calling him an extra because to put him, I know as I said they felt like extras in the storyline of the dissension of the bloodline. Like they didn't feel like the main protagonist they didn't feel like the reason why this bloodline with it dissolving. They just felt like extra characters in the storyline of the bloodline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
because
lot
like
like the. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Cause like the thing I was just trying to point out real fast, like, and yeah, they were just kind of extras within the bloodline dissension. Cause like, okay, yeah, you got Kevin and Sami, of course, and then Riddle. Let's remember Riddle was taken out by Solo before he disappeared and was doing all that other crazy shit and whatnot. Which he came back, which makes sense to put him back, and I wasn't really surprised he took the L, but most of this was on the bloodline because let's remember Solo. He looked like he was gonna hit the Samoan spike on Jay, and Jay's like I'm your brother, man. I'm your brother, man. I'm your brother, not him. I'm your brother. Like what you doing and stuff, and it still ended with the bloodline winning, but. You saw a commentary played up like, well, what's Roman Reigns gonna think when he returns to SmackDown this Friday?
Right. They're not even talking about you feel y'all feel what I'm saying. They like Superman story. Let's just say Superman go against Lex Luthor. He defeats Lex Luthor. It's all about how Superman is beating Lex Luthor, right? Am I right? So would you want to tell your story like that? Would you want to say? I mean, would you want to talk about more about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, how they mastermind the destruction of the bloodline? Like, would you want to tell that story, or are we talking about the villains here? Are we? Is this a villain origin story or something? Like, what is it?
Yeah, it's exactly like the match from the Royal Rumble. Like this match was a means to an end just to tell this story, as opposed to like we're actually here to watch this match and see it unfold and everything. Like it was all about where this is leading rather than the match itself. And for Sami Zayn to be getting worked for 10 minutes or whatever it was in this match after we just got that crazy street fight, I was just like, all right, man, like let's keep it pushing, man. Like,
Yeah,
Because I feel like the
yeah.
crowd was only hyped for like Sammy's theme song and singing along to it, and that was kind of like it was still hot, but that was probably like the only thing they were really that hot for was for that, and like the match just kind of kept going and going and kept going. That's all it really was until they more storyline until we get to the end of this whole thing because we've already seen how Paul Heyman keeps talking to Solo saying tonight is your night. It's your night.
Yeah,
Get orders
I
from the
wanted to
tribal
talk
chief.
about that SmackDown too. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. That was. Did y'all feel like that was stupid? To be like all night you were teasing what Solo was going to do. Then all of a sudden, once we get to that point, because at that point we weren't even thinking about the WrestleMania rematch. Like now we thinking about what Solo was going to do. And so all through the match, all I'm thinking about is when Solo coming out, when Solo coming out, when Solo. Because that's all throughout the night. That's put it in my head that he was going to do something. Then he comes out and then he get beat up by Matt Riddle. And I'm like, that was stupid. I thought that felt stupid to me. I don't know about y'all, but that just felt dumb.
And then he came back out and he just kind of looked on like, oh crap, like one of
me
those.
personally, I actually liked it because we don't because with Matt Riddle interrupting, we didn't know what he was going to do. You know, like we didn't know if he was going to come out and help the Usos win or if he was going to take them out because they're trash. So I actually thought that was pretty cool that when Riddle came out and interrupted, so we got the intrigue of what was he going to do. But all this is just a catalyst of Cody not winning at WrestleMania because now we're still in the let it play out phase of this year-long storyline. Just
Oh
like,
man, I don't know how long we supposed to let things play out. And like you said, a year long storyline. Shoot, I would
Shoot,
look
the
at this
bloodline is
point.
even longer than that. It's damn near two if you want to count the whole bloodline thing. It's longer than that.
And
yeah,
then that like with the whole like my feeling before WrestleMania and how I feel after WrestleMania is two different feelings. You want the first feeling that I'm about to talk about before WrestleMania, how I felt like, oh man, dang, things is gonna things about to start, change it around. Cody gonna win that championship. Sami and them about to win the tag team championship. All right, cool, man. We probably ain't gonna see the bloodline for a minute. that everybody else can develop their stories and develop their characters. Oh man, it's gonna look like a different WWE. After WrestleMania, I'm thinking like, come on, man. Yeah, it still feel like the same WWE.
At this
Nothing
point,
changed. Exactly, bro.
even I feel like at this point, like, who really about to beat Roman now at this point? Like, I be thinking that
Right,
oh, yo,
right.
Cody's got to do it. Cody's got to win Money in the Bank and then
I'm done with that
cash it in
storyline.
on Roman at SummerSlam.
I'm done with that storyline. I told you that already, Bryce. Did I?
Yeah,
I
you
like.
did.
I'm done. I'm done with it. It was supposed to happen at WrestleMania. If it didn't happen there, I'm not gonna care if he do it ever, and it's not gonna ever look like that now because they are different brands. So I'm kind of glad they are different brands because so nobody will have to tease it no more. Like having it in their head, thinking, "Oh man, it's gonna happen." No, please don't let it happen. All
And,
right,
and here's another thing, real quick. I do want to ask this question before we get into the main event, the last part of this show. What do you think about this tournament for this title, this new world title? About with Raw and SmackDown being
you want to
involved,
go
even though
first,
this
Steven? You want to go, Steven? You
I
want
mean,
to
I'll
go
just
first?
real quick say, man, if Cody wins this title, then
kills the whole
that's trash, bro.
Yeah,
Garbage.
yeah,
um
yeah,
kills the whole story.
yeah.
I just
As a
think
matter of
Because that's
fact,
not the
if
title that
anybody who
Daddy
Roman's
wanted.
already beaten in this reign, if anybody, Drew, anybody Roman has already beaten in this reign wins this title, trash, bro.
Yeah.
and I will
And
say this.
only person who would don't and not trash would it be because he never beat the guy is Seth Rollins
Exactly.
Yep, and
because
I will say
he never beat Seth.
I will say this one thing also about the tournament, which doesn't make sense. Why is SmackDown involved in this again?
Right. That's
Who knows?
already foretelling me that none of the SmackDown guys is going to win. That's what y'all telling me. If it is like that, if a SmackDown person do win, then what was the point of this whole draft then, huh? What was the point? It's
Exactly.
just to do something, just to do so. And then that's what I be talking about with them. It's like we are people. I know y'all been seeing this tweet out here. This is relevant to everything we talking about. I know y'all been seeing the tweet that every day been looking up for the wrestling industry. You got AEW sold out. Me sold some tickets. Sold a whole bunch of tickets out there in UK. Uh, they just people were just listing off all these good things about the companies, different companies and stuff. And I'm over here looking like, are we watching the same wrestling industry in the North America? I can't talk about what happens outside of North America, but in North America, our two biggest companies, they got flaws, big flaws, huge flaws. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like we can't get a break on good wrestling, man. We just can't get a break. I don't know.
Yeah, they're overcomplicating the simplest things of what makes wrestling great, man. Consistent
But yes,
storytelling. Because everybody's a good wrestler now, pretty much. Like it's
yeah.
not about that anymore. It's like you get a banger pretty much every week, man. So at this point, it's just like, dude, just tell good stories, man. And
hmm
stories being told for a long time isn't the same as stories being told well. So
Right. They it don't matter how many pages in a book. If that story ain't good, it could be 300 pages. It's gonna be 300 pages of not good storytelling. So,
exactly.
uh,
And this kind of now goes and you talk storytelling now going into the main event, between Cody Rhodes, whoa, and Brock Lesnar there. Um,
what the hell
yeah,
with
this
that?
make when everybody does the whoa, yeah, I'm talking about.
I was just gonna let him have it. Kyle ain't let it slip, dog.
I everybody does that now. Whoa,
Amazing.
Man.
close enough. But yeah, the main event though, Cody Rhodes Brock Lesnar. Oh. But no, seriously though, the main event. This was like what, 10 minutes, and yeah, Cody won by roll up after what, Brock ran himself into the turnbuckle and bled like a faucet out there, and Cody just somehow, pinned him while he had the Kimura lock and whatnot, and Cody survived by the skin of his teeth. And yeah, this didn't, I don't know, it's not much to talk about here. And, me and Steven talked about this last night, but it doesn't make sense. So Reigns beat Cody at Mania, and now Cody beat Brock at Backlash after Brock literally killed this man the night after WrestleMania, and Cody won by a roll-up.
Here's what doesn't make sense about it, man. They didn't tell the story, man. All this finish the story stuff. They didn't tell the story, man. Brock beat this dude within an inch of his life, embarrassed him in front of everybody. Cody's calling him a coward because Brock won't face him straight up man to man. All right, so we finally get to this match. Cody jumps him before the bell, starts hitting him with stairs and all of that. Then he proceeds to get beat for the next 9 minutes, and then he just rolls him up and wins. Like, what? No, bro. The whole point of this is you're supposed to get a decisive win over this dude, beat him within an inch of his life like he did you. You're not even the one who busted him open. He ran into the turnbuckle on his own volition and got busted open. You didn't even do that, Cody. And then you're going to roll him up to win. Like, no, if you don't let that go, hit this man with 8 crossroads, a cutter, and then drop him on his head or something, like they didn't even tell the story they were telling, bro. And they made this the main event. Like, what are we doing, bro?
I was just looking how Cody started out the match. I was like, oh, okay, it's one of those matches. It might end a little quicker than what we thought it was gonna be. One of those, people get the upper hand on here real quick and then they end it real quick. That's what I thought. Then Brock got into this offense, and then Brock just did Brock things, just throwing this nigga everywhere. He was just, oh my goodness. I just couldn't believe they let that beating go on that long. I was like, are we supposed to root for this nigga? He just talked himself into an ass whooping. That's what story y'all telling. This is a story y'all telling. He just talked himself into a butt whooping here.
And then got a fluke win.
Right, and so you ain't tell me, like Steven said, you ain't tell me no story. It's incomplete. Like, oh, he wins. He went. That's the story y'all trying to give me. And then that's what I was afraid of. And it were 2 things I was afraid of before this match. That Cody was gonna lose outright, and that Cody wasn't gonna win decisively over this guy because. And what's your track record telling me that every Brock Lesnar match, nobody won decisively over this guy since what? Who y'all give me, like what? Seth Rollins?
Drew? I think Drew was last, right?
Drew was the last person who beat him decisively. And you get what I'm saying? Like nobody beat him. And not even Roman beating him decisively. All they matches came from screws. Right. I just don't understand why we still got this man at this, at this position. It's like I understand that crowd go crazy for him, and Brock Lesnar do make draw and all that stuff. But it's just like, but when we get to his matches, we all disappointed.
Well, yeah, it's also to kind of add on, like, you can kind of somewhat pattern this too within, okay, Brock's going to throw you around, kill you for a few minutes, and then you get that comeback then, you hit some real good moves on him and whatnot, and it's either you win or Brock just somehow hits an F5 and then it's over, or it'll be some screwy finish, because they still protect Brock here at the end of the day. But like I said before, Cody literally just won by the skin of his teeth and whatnot. Because, like, what was it, Monday? They had, Cody took down Brock with that one good punch and whatnot. And you know, they were playing off of that, like, he's got his number and everything. But, like, you beat him by what? A roll-up, and just, they still protected Brock at the end of the day. Because, like, what do you do now? Do you go on and do another match at the next pay-per-view? Then what? Do we have to have a stipulation match next? Because I feel like now they keep mentioning, Brock, you call yourself a cowboy. I know some real cowboys. Like, is that gonna play into it next?
Have a bull rope match.
Yeah, that's what I feel like, because you got, Cowboy B Brock out there now starting to look like another version of the Undertaker with all the, the black trench coat and the black hat and whatnot. So it's going to be Cowboy B Brock versus Cody now in some type of bull rope match. Like, does it need to continue? Because where does Cody now move on if they don't go into another match? Does Cody go back for the title again? Like, is that what's happening here? Because I feel like this match ended on one of those, like, what the fuck type of moments.
Exactly. I mean, you and me had this conversation last night, man, where I'm like, I mean, what's the follow-up to this? Because they didn't even tell the story they were telling. So, I mean, Cody got a fluke win. So that motivates Brock to come out and say, nah, you barely beat me. Let's do it again. I mean, and then what? Then Cody beats him or Cody loses. It's like, well, so what? Like, Brock beats him in the rematch, so we do it again.
And what I'm hoping is WWE do one of their usual amnesia things. They just forget about things. I just hope that to happen, because I don't want to see another match. Real talk, because they track record with Brock Lesnar is not good, and I don't want to see another match. I don't want to see another match unless the person name is just equally as big as he is or bigger. I don't want to see another match between him and that person.
Well, we got both of those this year. We got Lashley and Omos, and
look what happened.
So they can't even be that. Honestly, I don't know what they could do.
Yeah, look what happened there. But they need him because he's a draw. Because they know he's a draw. They know they need him.
Man, they can draw these nuts, bro. I'm tired of this, man.
I'm tired of hearing that too. I wish you on that one too. I'm tired of hearing that, because here's the thing: if y'all do what y'all supposed to do, y'all don't have to rely on these people.
Exactly.
All right, and do what y'all supposed to do. Make these songs. Listen to the crowd sometimes, man. They ain't gonna steer you wrong all the time. And like, for real, it's like they keep up. You ain't the person we saying. We don't like hearing that. But we hear it a lot. I know you do, Steve. It's like, I'm tired of hearing what draws, what don't draw, what draws. It's like, man, look, here's the thing: if these wrestling companies do what they supposed to do, they won't have to rely on these people who so-called supposed to be the biggest drawers, and they don't deliver.
They had the opportunity to make a guy at WrestleMania and Cody, and they didn't. So now here we are doing this Brock Lesnar thing, and they didn't even do that right. So it's like,
yeah. It still baffles me sometimes when I go back and look at Triple H's statement after Mania, when he said, like, oh, no, the story is just beginning. I'm like, isn't some of these stories supposed to end at WrestleMania? Like, you understand? It's
traditionally.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, no, this is the beginning. This is the opening and whatnot. And some feel like Cody didn't need to win, and I've heard this argument a lot. They feel like he hasn't faced enough adversity to get to the title. He hasn't had enough hard times, or he needs to go through some obstacles.
Hold on, wait a second. I don't understand the story that they was telling us. Then, if that's the case, here's the thing: the story that he was telling, that he had to leave the company to be something, and then when he came back, he came back as something, the something that he wanted to be. So the story was supposed to end after WrestleMania. We understood the journey. He been talking about the journey from day one since he came back. So it's like,
they don't even believe that, bro. What did Triple H do in 2002? He got hurt. He came back, won the Rumble, and won at WrestleMania. What did
Yeah,
Batista do? He won the Rumble. He won at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
What did John Cena do? He got hurt. Well, actually, he lost at WrestleMania. But y'all know what I'm saying? Like,
But he's still with the
like, come on,
WrestleMania.
bro. What are y'all even talking about with this, man? Y'all just making stuff up to try to justify your bad decisions, bro. Like, he
Yeah,
should
and
have
that's what I
won.
go. He should have won. Point blank and simple. That's it. End of story. He should have won.
What about the argument of, oh, we can't have two good endings at WrestleMania? You already had it with Kevin and Sami winning the tag titles. So
WrestleMania is supposed to be the storybook ending. It's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be. You first of all, what is you doing? This is WrestleMania is not just a regular crowd. WrestleMania is comprised of people who travel the world to come see you. There's people from China, people from Australia, and people from all parts of the world to come in to see WrestleMania. And so you don't supposed to. The heel ain't supposed to have this storybook ended at WrestleMania.
3 in a row,
What?
And you can't even say
Dumb.
that's the argument either, because what they had on the same WrestleMania, Seth beat Brock, Kofi beat Bryan, and then Becky won in the main event. 3 world title
Bingo.
changes for the good guy. Like you can't even say that's the argument. Like,
Right, and so this was it's supposed to be. You supposed to give people going home with good memories. Oh, I was there when Becky won the championship. I was there when Kofi Kingston won the championship. That's what it's supposed to feel good. And then that match did not feel good. And you gonna tell me that it was a good decision to end the night, to end the whole WrestleMania weekend off like that? That's how you supposed to end the whole WrestleMania weekend? Oh, my goodness.
they just want that 1,000-day thing. They just want that 1,000-day title reign.
I'd rather them just admit that, bro. Like just
Yeah,
say,
at this point,
like instead of trying to find any excuse to justify it, just say, well, actually, we just want to get them to 1,000 days. Like just say it with your chest. So we stop trying to act like we're all idiots, like we don't know what's going on, dog.
Because this whole new world title thing, I've said it before, it's a damn cop out. It's a cop out. So like we can't take none of the belts off Roman. We can't even separate, like take, I don't know, maybe the WWE title off of him and whatnot. Because technically 3 world titles right now. Like it really is. It's 3
yeah,
world
it is.
titles. So
Until
it's like
they
you just
fuse,
added
they're
another
gonna
belt.
end up fused to those other. We all know they're gonna end up fused to those two. They should probably in the works of the design right now as we speak. But you
It
remember
just
where they were 2 world championships? They did fuse it.
it just kind of looks ridiculous in a way of just, okay, let's create a whole new belt. We won't take none of the belts because you know how they explain it. Well, Roman has negotiated a deal where he doesn't have to defend it as much, so he can have both. So we'll just create this new belt. It's almost how they explain with Brock. Like, well, you know, Brock is a free agent, so he can show up on both shows anytime he likes. Like, what?
It
Like,
don't make right. You be like, hey, sir, that don't make sense. I can't go along with
and
that.
it's like I'll say this too. Like I can add that with the women also because I was trying to say this earlier, and I know they're gonna do this. Like, okay, obviously they're gonna have Ripley and Bianca just gonna switch the belts. I'm sure now because Bianca will take the SmackDown one, Rhea will take the Raw one. So that looks like what's gonna happen also.
That dumb. Please don't do that again.
Like we
especially
saw.
when all they and I said this to you, Bryce. All they got to do is just rename the belts, bro.
Yeah,
Just
that's
call it
all.
the women's world title, the WWE women's title. Like that's all you got to do. So and change the plates so they're not color coded, and that's literally all you got to do.
Because the last time we saw it, they literally just, okay, you hand this one the belt, you hand another one, and we all saw how kind of disastrous that went, and they start playing keep away out there with it then, because
No,
y'all saw how Charlotte was like,
that was ego. That was 2 egos
because
going against each other.
she just
I
kept
don't
playing
think
keep.
that will. I don't think that gonna happen with if
Oh no,
I would have won.
it won't. It won't happen this time. But like last time, they was like Charlotte like trying like, oh, you want it? You want it? Oh, keep away, pick it up, bitch, pick it up. So that's what it looked like last time. Like, pick it up. Oh, you want it? Here. Oh, you didn't get it. Pick it up, bitch. That's what it looked like last time. But like that's what I feel like they're just gonna do. All right, you take this belt, you take that belt. Y'all go to y'all whatever show y'all going to. That's looks like what's gonna happen.
Yeah, this
So it
they
doesn't.
can easily avoid this just by changing the names of the belts. Like this
Yeah.
is so dumb, bro. Like I told you, if that's what they do, Triple H is no better than Vince, bro. Like I'm ready to say it at this point because he's not committing to anything, and the things he is committing to are not good. So it's
Well, like
like
we
come
gotta
on,
create
bro.
a new. We gotta create a new world championship. I'm like,
When I know y'all heard this saying before. When you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing no one. And that's what it is with the Booker over here in the WWE, Triple H, or the Booker over there at AEW, Tony Khan. When you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one, and that's what they try to do. Triple H trying to regain that name of how he was at NXT. So, oh man, I'm giving your favorite wrestlers a chance. Everybody, don't you see me?
I
And it's
hired
like,
all these people back.
no, no, Triple H. I don't think I don't think that's what the cure to your problem. Your problem is what me and Steven were talking about the whole night. I think the thing with this should be storyline. It should be better storylines. That's all you have to do. Even over there at AEW. That's all you have to do. You don't have to. You don't have to give me car crashes every Wednesday night. I don't need to see everybody getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'm perfectly fine if you tell me a story that's good enough for me to watch this match. And Triple H said, "I'm with you on that, Steven. It's about time to say it now. It's been a whole year now. Am I right? Are we marching a year? And he, been under the booking situation now.
It'll be
Ain't it
August,
almost a
right?
year?
Because I
It's
think
gonna be
SummerSlam was
almost.
his first show.
He's
Oh,
almost
okay.
there.
It's almost there. But here's the thing: you tell me something that wasn't a part of the old regime, because you give me Bloodline, that's already started. He picked up something good, and he just did his own little addition to it. It's like you don't get props over that. Yeah. Damage control suck. What else?
Yeah,
Just threw that in there.
that is bad.
I'm sorry.
I'll give Vince one thing. If he really said no to Bailey over damage control, he was in the right decision for that one.
No, here's the thing, but I don't think it's because of the people, though,
It's
right?
definitely not.
It's not
Yeah, all
you.
three of those people are good. It's just the booking. They lose
There we
like
go. And so
lose all the
if
fucking
he,
time.
but here's the thing, I can't give, I wouldn't give this, props over if he said no to that, because I would have been like, hey, give it a shot. Just put good booking behind it. But here's the thing, they gave it a shot and they not getting the good book. You tell me a group that get beat by one person and you still fear that group?
Yeah, because
Like,
Bianca and Becky have destroyed them.
destroyed them on two different occasions too. It wasn't just they were teamed up and they beat
They
them
did
up
on their
there.
own.
No, they did it on their own on two different occasions. So you tell me if you gonna fear that group. Now,
Yeah, it's
nobody
seen
gonna
in the
fear that
Nexus
group.
all over again. Like y'all not even paying
Yeah,
attention to history. You booking your
there we
own
go.
show, bro. Like,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, nah, it's I, I just like, man, I really think they need to really start looking, like, if you gonna do this trial, start looking into how to build new stars. Really, to be honest with you, like, because I see y'all bring up some of the NXT stars and stuff, and I got, I always got a little faith that it's not the same as the old times where the NXT stars used to get called up and they flop on their face because of the booking. Now it's like they get called up and nobody even books them, and they figure that we gonna throw them out there, and that's that see how far they gonna go. But without good booking, they can't go anywhere. Look at
Yeah, because
Raquel. Look at her.
Raquel just smiles a lot. That's it. She just smiles a lot.
That could have been. Come on, bro. You couldn't tell me you couldn't do nothing with Raquel Gonzalez.
Oh yeah, they could have done better than just tag her up with Liv. They could have done better than that.
Come on, man. It's like y'all not even trying. And
And
The
then
yeah,
most
first of
confusing thing
all,
about it, man, is that Triple H has already successfully booked a lot of these people already. It's
yes.
like, what did he do with Raquel? He told the story of her breaking out on her own from Dakota. They had their beef. She won the title and all of that. But you can't do something like that on main with the same people. What happened to Johnny Gargano, bro? What happened to Cross? What happened to, like what happened to
Right.
Nakamura, bro?
yeah,
What happened to
What
Oscar?
these people
Like,
you had before? You gave them the world, and they were big stars over there. What happened
bro,
now? What you
Shayna
trying to
Baszler, like, what are we
Shayna
doing here?
Baszler,
do here? Oh my goodness, I
several
totally
NXT
agree.
black and
Triple
gold.
H, you already did it. Just do it again.
Like even Ciampa before he got hurt. Like look what they had Ciampa with the Miz. They had Ciampa with the Miz before he got hurt. Like they come on. It's like several people and whatnot. Because like right now, and I think about the NXT people they moved up. Like okay, Indy obviously they want to reform the way they put them all on Raw. So I feel like that's coming already. What Zoe Stark, which I hope she gets a push.
Yeah,
I'm
me
trying.
and you were talking about that, and where I was like,
Stark
that
is
was
really
good
good.
because she's good. She's that damn good for real.
Yeah,
Beast.
Stark
Yeah.
is really good. I'm trying to remember who else at the top of my head. Odyssey Jones, I don't know that much to what I remember. Everybody thought he's supposed to be the new Mark Henry. I kept hearing that.
Because he's big
Uh,
and black.
What? Right?
What?
How dare you? Right? I wish
I
you
heard
had that
that.
with Steven. I heard, man. And then Bryce trying to gloss over it, like, oh yeah, he was supposed to be the next Mark Henry. Hold on, for what? Hold
Yeah, they
on,
say his gear
why?
looked like it at one point when he first got over there. Like his gear kind of looked like Mark Henry's and felt like he was the smiling face, like how Mark Henry when he just got there at the time.
All
Who
right,
else?
you elaborated a little bit better, but it still sound a little kind of, you know,
I
little off
really
to
have
me.
heard that though, to be honest with you. I have heard that. Cause like him, Inda Sheer, Gender, Veer, and what was the other guy's name? Sanga on there. They got moved to Raw. So hey, they're getting Veer back, folks. Veer's coming back to Raw.
How long gonna
Apollo,
take with
Wow.
this time?
yeah, what
How
happened
long
this
gonna
time?
take with this time?
Same with Apollo Crews. Like this dude went to NXT for like 6 months, and like I thought it was funny when he was sitting there with the rest of the NXT alumnus for some reason. I'm like, all right, so they put Crews back on Raw. Okay, let's see if it's a difference this time because like he went to NXT
Man,
so he can see into the future and try to be like Luke Cage all of a sudden down there. Then like I can see the future.
sadly,
Luke Cage can't see the
Bryce.
future. What?
Yeah, remember he could see the future. He was doing that on there. Like he could see into the future. I can tell what's going to happen. That was his whole gimmick.
No, he said Steven says that wasn't Luke Cage powers.
But yeah, that wasn't Luke Cage Powers. But I remember
That's
they had a segment.
Denzel, the equalizer, bro.
Okay, that or more Denzel. I remember they had a segment with Cruz, and he beat up like these 5 guys in a parking lot. All of a sudden, like these random guys that he could see into the future with his eye, how he beat them up. Like they did some whole segment with that, and I don't know what difference will happen for him. I'm trying to see what else. Pretty Deadly. Uh,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
the tag division need bodies. So if I,
Yeah,
you know
and
what I'm saying.
they were brutally murdered on NXT the week before, but then they happened to be alive this week. They got thrown into the river by Mr. Mafia Man right there. I put him in the water. I got him in the trunk. I got him in the water. We never saw him again. They were sleeping with the fishes, but somehow they escaped.
Yeah, here's my thing, man. In terms of strictly looking at the list, like not going by what can happen, what they'll probably do, and none of that. I was actually very happy to see a lot of the people they did call up, especially on the women's side, man. You said Candice and Indy get put together. That makes perfect sense. Do that. You got Kaden and Katana, put them over
Oh
there
yeah,
to be in the tag division. Zoe Stark, she can cook in that division. Like, that's cool, Like, but it's just, I don't. Triple H has lost the benefit of the doubt, man, and that
Yeah,
was
he
his
really
main
yeah.
superpower, was the benefit of the doubt, because people were willing to let things roll out
A
because
lot
he had a good track
until
record and he
there we
wasn't
go.
Vince. But now that's
Bingo.
gone.
There we
It's like
go.
now instead of being excited for all these people, now I'm like, you know,
Man, let's see the cook because
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was thinking. When you said it, but I was thinking it. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Do he? I was going to ask was do he still get that little leeway? Oh, can we still play it out? You know what I'm saying? But now ain't no playing it out. You know what I'm saying? And we already seen what you wanted to do. And I'm looking at when you were reading off the names, I'm looking at the list like most of those people was on Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like
they move a
Izzy
lot.
Raw, so we start Raw, and it's like, uh, uh, do like you bring these guys up? Are you gonna do something with these guys? JD Madonna, are you gonna do
Oh
something
yeah,
with him?
he did get moved to Raw. That's right.
You get what I'm saying here? Like, are we gonna do something with these people? Or are they just gonna be moved up there just to be bodies?
we
You
still waiting for
know,
them to do something with LA Knight.
they
Yeah,
need to. The
yeah.
crowd is man. The crowd is man. Tell me about it. The crowd love him. The crowd telling you they love him every week, but y'all won't do anything with him.
Let me talk to you.
We still waiting for them to
Y'all
do something with LWO. Like y'all got the toys already. Play with them. Like
Man,
right.
where's the win? Like, come on, like I don't never see them win. Even when Ray's in a match, Ray either loses by a DQ finish half the time, or maybe he just loses in general. Because I'm like, man, can these guys win one match? Like something? Like, come on now. Like they lose all the time. I feel like the only one they got was on this Backlash show. Because all right, Bad Bunny put the T-shirt on, so he's in the LWO now. So this is like the only win I guess you can count them on.
I, I
yeah, man. I don't know.
I'm
It's
looking
just
at
like,
this.
come on.
So there you go. But with that also, overall thoughts on this entire show.
Well, I said it at the beginning that this show was just a two-match show for me, man. Everything else was mid or confusing. So like Bianca EO was fire, Bad Bunny and Priest was fire, but everything else I was just like, or it
Right.
royally made me upset. So
Here's the thing. It's one of those shows that you only it was held up by those two matches. You know what I'm saying? Because everything else was just okay. And I felt that it's like even though the crowd was beautiful and stuff, and I was hearing on Twitter why the U.S. crowd can't be like this. Ooh, because we don't. To me, my opinion is we don't reward bad behavior. All right, I just said like we don't get crazy like that because we don't reward bad behavior too much. We ain't look when something is bad, we just let them know it's bad. And Puerto Rico ain't had a show WWE show since 2006. So of course they're gonna be hot. And
Yeah,
so and I just felt like it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad show because all these guys they can perform and they can give us even an okay looking match. It was just like outside of the two matches,
and I agree. I'll kind of piggyback off that. I agree on both you guys' statements on that. Yeah, one thing you can really thank was the crowd of how hyped they were throughout this entire show. But when you think about it, it was like really, when it's like a two-match show, like the Raw Women's title and the street fight out there. Everything else was either okay or like whatever. But most of the time, you could account the crowd for making the show so hype. Because somebody called me last night. They were saying like people saying oh, this has got to be the best backlash in years. I'm like, I wouldn't go that far. I've seen some really good backlashes in the past from like '99 and up. Okay, so like I'm not gonna go that far. Like this is the one of the best backlashes of all time. Like I'm not gonna go that far
well,
with
those are
that
two
statement.
completely different statements, though, right? The best backlash in years and best backlash of all time are completely different things.
But like you see where I'm
could
trying
be
to
the
go with
best.
it though.
It could. You could. You could see if a person say it's the best backlash in recent memory. You can say that because you
Okay.
could go back to recent memory. What's the recent memory? You probably say probably back past 5 6 years. You get
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can agree.
So and so it's like you can't. I can't. Compare it to somebody saying it like, oh, it's the best backlash in modern history. You're like, hold on, time out now. Wait a second. You can't, we gonna go from '99 to now. It's not the best, but if we're going from 2016, 2017 to now, it probably is.
Oh, it's definitely better than 17. That show was dog shit.
You
Yeah.
talk about they ain't the they ain't the one that had Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, is it?
I don't know, but I know that's the one where Jinder Mahal was facing Randy Orton. So
Oh
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that not
I
the
was
one.
there
That's
for that show.
that's the one. That was from top to bottom it was garbage.
I
So
remember.
you compared it to that, that ain't much to compare it to.
I remember that. I was in the building that night, so I do remember that. Yeah, you could definitely say that. But like I overall, I still thought like I said, this show was not bad though. So like I say, it could be a 2-match show, but like I said, the crowd really brought a very big hype level and a big fight feel throughout the entire night. So that's what really helped a lot too. But overall, I thought it was okay, but definitely it was a lot of hype. But it's mostly 2 matches. You can go on and say it was that great though. But yeah,
yeah, I give it like a C.
I see. Yeah.
yeah, C plus. That's where I'm ranging in from. I'm kind of ranging in from that, but I thought it was still fun overall. It was still pretty fun throughout the night. Um, but yeah, other than that though, I'm sure the next time we'll probably be on here is Double or Nothing later this month.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's gonna be a long weekend of shows when that comes around. Double or Nothing, Night of Champions. Um, shit, it's like
And,
7 shows.
and Bryce, remember like in the past, I never watched any Saudi Arabia pay per view ever. You know that already, but they kind of forcing my hand. The Nights of Champions are really one of those shows that I like. I like really. I like a lot. I don't know why I like it a lot, but I do. And they kind of forcing my hand to watch this. They're like, why they do that to me? Why? I don't want to watch the Saudi Arabia pay per view ever.
It's blood money.
And,
You got to crown a
and
new
right,
champion.
right, and they crowning a new champion, and
So
it kind of forcing my hand a little bit, And I'm gonna let you know if I did watch that show or not, but it's already a 50-50 chance that I'm not going to watch it either.
there you go. Anything you guys want to plug?
No, sir. We did the do. It's always fun talking to y'all about wrestling, man. Even when I don't like what I'm watching. So yeah,
Right.
Yeah, definitely agreed. So yeah, but other than that though, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodNight890. Hit the like button and that notification bell. So yeah, other than that, we're out of here and we will see y'all next time.